Diesel, fuel for life. It's the first cologne I ever bought, and when I smell this, it takes me back to spiking my hair up for the 2006 school disco. Acqua di Parma Colonia. This one reminds me of Hollywood, the palm trees, buying my first car. Elizabeth Arden, Red Door. Every time I smell this perfume, or anything like it, I'm vividly reminded of the 40-year-old woman I lost my virginity to. Well, that's not what we're talking about today, but what we are talking about is the power of fragrance in evoking memories. If you want to evoke powerful memories with your fragrance and leave a haunting impression, you're going to need a signature scent. We're going to discuss why a signature scent is so impactful, whether or not you should have one, and how to select the right fragrance. Scent is a highly powerful memory trigger. In fact, the way someone smells is often more memorable than their name. Think about a woman you've dated. Even if you don't remember much about her, you will certainly remember if she had a signature fragrance. Sometimes a random woman will walk past me on the street wearing the same perfume as a previous lover, and it instantly takes me back to her. Wearing a signature fragrance is your opportunity to have the same impact on the people you meet and to be remembered by them for years to come. It's just as powerful as dressing well and having a good personality. Fragrance acts like a stamp on the memory that, even if someone tries to rub off, they won't be able to. So let's talk about how to find that signature scent. One of the biggest upsides of the signature scent approach is that you can choose quality over quantity. If you're a fragrance fan, you'll know that it doesn't take many bottles until you've got hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of colognes sitting on your shelf. But with a signature scent, you need just one. That makes buying the Tom Ford or the Creed cologne seem much more manageable when you consider it's just the equivalent of buying 3 regular priced designer fragrances. When selecting your signature fragrance, there is nobody you should try to please more than yourself. You will smell this more than anyone, so you must absolutely love it. It must make you feel confident, sexy, masculine, and rebellious all in one. The character of the fragrance must match your personality. For example, if you're a very cheery, happy-go-lucky type of guy, the mysterious, smoky gourmand in the black bottle won't really work for you. Perhaps you already have a candidate or two in mind for your signature scent. But if you don't, I encourage you to go through a process of experimentation. There is no need to buy whole bottles, but just trying a fragrance at the store is not enough exposure to decide whether it's worth committing to. Instead, buy lots and lots of samples. It's like you're going to date these fragrances for a while. Make sure you wear each sample for a period of a few days at least. You need to truly live with it. How does it go with the smell of your skin? Does it suit the outfits you wear and the places you go? Does it last long enough? How did you feel when wearing it? Did you get compliments on it? I would encourage you to go through several fragrances during this period, which may take about a month. By the end of it, there should be 1 or 2 that you gravitate toward naturally and feel excited to wear. But aside from simply liking it, there are a few other factors that make a good signature scent. It should be something classic rather than a trendy fragrance, but also something a little bit out of the ordinary. Classic fragrances generally rely on natural ingredients that are almost universally appealing. But don't choose something super generic and woody that smells like every other man. To give you a good example, a previous girlfriend of mine wore rose oil. It was the perfect signature fragrance because it smelled so classically feminine, yet I'd never known another woman who wore it. Along the same lines, look for something that has been worn for a long time. That new fragrance that just came out last month might smell great now, but will it stand the test of time, or will it be discontinued in a year or two? A good signature scent must be versatile. If you're wearing the same fragrance all the time, it needs to perform equally well in the day and in the night. It's for that reason I love Creed Aventus. It's professional and clean enough for the day, yet exotic and complex enough to be sexy and sensual in the night. Aventus is one of those fragrances that works year-round, but most fragrances are designed to be either worn in the summer or the winter. For that reason, you might consider having a different signature scent for each season. Your signature scent, however, doesn't need to be expensive. Look at a fragrance like Cool Water, which for $20 a bottle smells like a much more premium fragrance. In fact, it was made by the same guy who made Green Irish Tweed. So this would make a good signature. But you don't want to go too cheap. I mean, I love Old Spice, but you can tell it's a fairly inexpensive fragrance because it has that soapy alcohol barbershop characteristic to it. It's a great day-to-day cologne, but not a fragrance you'd feel confident wearing at a big occasion like a wedding or a nice dinner. When searching for your signature fragrance, I encourage you to explore niche brands. Often these fragrance houses aren't commonly sold in stores. The advantage here is that when you wear a rare fragrance, people won't have any other associations with that fragrance, so they will associate it more strongly with you. I love wearing these two fragrances, Commitment by Mission Fragrances and Derby by Roberto Ugolini, not only because I can guarantee nobody else will be wearing them, but because they're sold by my friends' companies, so there's a story and a sentiment behind them. You know, Dior Sauvage is a great fragrance, but it's not a great signature fragrance because so many people wear it. This won't make your girl think of you forever, it will make her think of her ex who wore it too, her uncle and her dad. A signature scent, though, doesn't have to be for life. You can also have a signature fragrance for a particular period or season of your life. At the start of this video, I told you about my memories with Acqua di Parma Colonia. I wore this when I first moved to the US, and it reminds me of that first spring in Hollywood and all the excitement that came with that period. However, if I'd continued to wear it afterwards, it would have lost that association for me. So you might be wondering if I have a signature scent. At the moment, the answer is most definitely no. I have a bunch of different fragrances and a ton of samples here that I'm working through. With this channel, it's my job to experience as many fragrances as possible and expand my knowledge, so I wouldn't be able to do that if I wore the same one every day. However, there are certain fragrances that I gravitate toward. I love wearing Creed Aventus anytime I go out, whether it's daytime, nighttime, somewhere casual, or a hot date. This makes me feel confident and masculine, and it was actually a gift from my subscriber Owen, so if you're watching this, Owen, thank you. But I know this is a $500 bottle, so it's not something I like to wear when I'm just staying at home. So day to day, normally I'll just dip my hand into my bag of samples and see whatever comes out, or I'll wear an affordable cologne like some of the ones I have here. For me, there's a problem with wearing a signature scent. Repetition leads to boredom. Just as I wouldn't wear the same clothes every day, nor do I want to smell the same every day. I like having a varied collection to suit my different moods and occasions. An even bigger downside to the signature scent approach is the nose blind effect. When you wear the same fragrance all the time, those around you will stop noticing it. So I mentioned the girlfriend I had who wore that fabulously feminine rose oil. I adored it. But after about a year of our relationship, I could no longer smell it. My brain had got so used to it that I'd gone totally nose blind. It wasn't until she introduced another perfume into her rotation that I began to smell and appreciate the rose again. Gentlemen, I'm excited to hear from you in the comments. Do you have a signature scent? And if so, what is it? Or does someone else in your life have a signature scent that you strongly associate with them? If you're looking to expand your knowledge of fragrance and understand all the different terminology you might have heard fragrance guys use, I encourage you to check out my video on fragrance appreciation. In this one, I explain how to train your nose to appreciate and understand fragrance just like a fine wine. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll speak with you in the comments.